I'm sitting here in Barbados with Mikey Holzmeyer and the great Biggie Irie, who is a good friend of Bermuda, as is Mikey. They've both been to the island a couple times. And I called Biggie up to ask him if he'd like to be involved in the Lennon Bermuda project. And he thought about it, and he came back with an answer for me, which was...
For sure.
Okay.
Woman is a song that that I'd mentioned to Mikey like previously a couple years before that. It's a song that I would love to do over in reggae, and we kept putting it off for a while. And then when you called and asked me, you know, it was like the opportunity was just there. So I called Mikey up and I told him, yeah, we got this opportunity to be on this Lennon project in Bermuda. And he said, yeah man, let's do it. So then I called Tony back and it was a go on.
So tell me a little bit about the process of making the song and how you went about recording it.
Well, what I did at that time, just before we started the recording process, I was in contact with Jimmy Haynes, who some would know as Senya. He lived in England for a long time. He did a lot of work with Oswald and Steel Pokes. So I figured, you know, here would be a great opportunity to bring Jimmy in on a project and do some work with him. You know, I've been told by a few, you know, musicians out of England before that if you ever have a chance to work with Jimmy, you should. You know, so I felt here was a cool project to bring Jimmy in on, and I went up to a studio where I had facility to record drums. Our studio didn't quite have that at the time, and we, you know, Jimmy and I laid down some rough stuff, you know, in Cubase at the tempo and stuff that we wanted to work in, got the form sorted, and then we just took a 2-track of that, laid the drums down, and then brought it back to our studio where we finished the track, you know, got the bass done. We did virtually everything, and then Biggie went on at the end.
Yeah, I have to say that when you sent the track over to England, because it was mixed by a guy called Matt Tate at Big Ocean Studios, Judy Zook Studios in Weybridge, and when they got the files from you, as you know, Matt Tate, who did the mix, said it was brilliantly recorded. The quality was sensational, and all the rest of that. And actually, the first time I played the track for Heather Nova's husband, Felix Todd, who's a producer, and he listened to. We had it going in the car, and he was in the back seat of the car, and we put it on. And after about the first 10 bars, he went, "Whoa, wow, that's amazing! That's brilliantly recorded." And I think you guys should be very proud of the fact that you've done a great version of Woman, and of course it was written in Bermuda by John Lennon for Yoko Ono,
yeah. And
of course it's Yoko's 80th birthday this year, and it's amazing. It's amazing. She's still going strong, better than ever, really. Yeah. And I'm very pleased that you guys are part of Lennon Bermuda. And have you got any other thoughts about John Lennon and Bermuda and the connection and Woman, the song?
Well, yeah, I mean, I always love the song. You know, I think it's probably the greatest song ever written for a woman. You know, and there are quite a few other tracks by John Lennon since recording Woman that I have liked as well. You know, songs that he's done with the Beatles and songs that he's done on his own. Songs like Imagine, and I think he sang Yellow Submarine. Did he sing?
No, that was Ringo.
That was Ringo. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I've become I always liked Beatles music, but I've become a John Lennon fan since listening to his songs after recording Woman.
Right.
So
I grew up in a Beatles household, so you know, I was always, I wouldn't say I was into them totally. I mean, I like my reggae and stuff with my dad, my mom, you know, and later on my stepdad. You know, he was a big Lennon fan, and so it was definitely an honor to do a song, you know, like Woman. It was a really fun process, you know,
yeah.
from beginning to end. We kind of took our time with it, as you know, Tony.
Hey, you know, at least it wasn't the typical tribute record where everybody has let's say less than 24 hours to get in the studio and whip it out, which gets a lot of tribute records.
What was really nice was Jimmy Haynes mapped out the background vocals with our singer. Her name is Faith White, and you know, she really got it working over. And it was nice to hear how Jimmy approached the backgrounds, which, you know, you know John Lennon's music inside out. The backgrounds kind of were what made it different.
Yeah.
You know, it was really cool to see how he did that, how he interpreted it. You know.
Well, thanks, guys. It's really great to have you on the Lennon Bermuda project and be part of this great tribute to John Lennon. And of course, the record's being released on April 29th this year, 2013, and will be available on iTunes worldwide as of that date. So let's hope it does really well, and everybody, all the Beatles fans around the world, really enjoy Woman and the rest of the album. Thanks, guys.
It was indeed our pleasure. Thanks.
Okay, now